If you are a Detroit Lions player and a rookie for that matter, I hope you are already in the city of Detroit, man. We are having a situation at Metro Airport where due to something going on, man, Alexander Zaloni, I believe, is stranded wherever he is trying to get back so he can be at camp with the start of training camp, and the veterans are supposed to report on Tuesday. So I hope that gets resolved. I wouldn't be surprised if he hopped in the car and drove from wherever he is, because he has plenty of time to get here. But with the season being upon us, we've been talking about people that could potentially be cut and or traded coming to the Lions. But what about people that the Lions already have? I saw an article from Brad Behrman, and this is 3 Detroit Lions players who could be traded before week 1. Now, I have not seen this list, so we're going to see it together. And one of the players that he has that could be cut, this name has come up over and over and over, or traded, I should say, is John Kaminsky. Here's what he had to say. Says Kaminsky has been mentioned as a potential preseason trade candidate a couple of times now, and it makes some sense. The Lions have a lot of competition along the defensive front, and Kaminsky took a pay reduction this offseason in lieu of potentially, though probably unlikely, being cut. It's possible he was given an either-or scenario, and he took the pay cut rather than be let go. Well, there is 100% truth to that. There could have been a situation where the Detroit Lions said, hey, look, John, we are between a rock and a hard place now. You know what I'm saying? We want you to stay, but we might have to cut you if we can't get you to take a pay cut. He took that pay cut, and he wind up staying a Detroit Lion. But if you could trade away John Kaminsky, I don't know what year of his deal he's on. I think it's the second year, because he got a 2-year deal. It was like $4 million. I think he's on the second year. So if somebody put in the comments, and we've been talking about this, and I'll tell you what, when names keep popping up, I think a lot of times there are some legitimate rumors out there that these rumors have legitimacy to them. So I would not be surprised if he is indeed one of the people. The next person that could be traded, this one is a shocker. Linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez. Says Rodriguez looked like a steal the moment the Lions took him in the 6th round, pick number 188 in the 2022 draft. And he delivered on that idea immediately as a rookie. He had 87 total tackles, 8 tackles for a loss over 16 games, and he started 15 times. Over that meaningful sample of snaps his first year, his tackling, run defense, and pass rush grades from Pro Football Focus were all 65 or better. I do not see this happening because Malcolm Rodriguez is a staple on special teams. I just saw an article today about how much Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes value special teams. If you can't play anywhere else, you can play on special teams. Malcolm Rodriguez had an interception in the NFC title game. I don't think that this is the case. I would give them this a 10% chance, and that's pretty high, that Malcolm Rodriguez could be traded. I just don't think that is going to happen. I think that, again, you don't go from being year 1 that he was drafted. He was thrust into starting because we didn't really have, our linebackers weren't really there yet. Made a name for himself. Year 2 kind of got pushed back to special teams because Derek Barnes emerged and we drafted Jack Campbell. But this year, when he comes in, Malcolm is solid. Outside of that mean stiff arm that he got during the season, I forgot who gave it to him. He is a staple on this team. So I disagree with that assessment. I think he is going to be here. And the last person who could be traded from the Detroit Lions, according to Brad Behrman, is Craig Reynolds. Says the Lions have 3 running backs who are locked in to make the roster: Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and rookie Sione Vaki. That leaves Reynolds and now a healthy Zonovan Knight to compete for what looks to be one roster spot during training camp and the preseason. The Lions are not likely to retain 5 running backs. They are not going to retain 5 running backs. I think that the Lions are going to keep 4. I don't think it's going to be too much of a competition between Zonovan and Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds showed his value One thing about the Detroit Lions, it's not about talent, it's about value. It's about what you show. If you show your value, you will make a place on this team. Now, if Zonovan just balls out of control, then perhaps that might push Craig to a practice squad position. I think that's going to be, I think Zonovan is going to get the practice squad. Jamar Jefferson. Now we got two, Jamar Jefferson probably won't make the team. He has been a practice squatter since day one. I don't think he's going to even make the practice squad, but you never know. It might just be time for him to move on. So I disagree with two of the three of these. I think Craig Reynolds, and then it was the middle one, Malcolm Rodriguez and John Kaminsky. I really disagree with all three. I think the more likely of the three could be John Kaminsky, simply because of the Lions already having him take a pay cut. But then you could also flip that and say that's how much they wanted him. They said, hey, look, John, we want to do some things. Maybe it had nothing to do with being traded or being cut. It was just like, look, we've looked at our resources and we need you to take a pay cut, right? But at the same time, we have $40 million in cap space. So was that money really needed, or what is there some truth to this? I think that there is some truth to this. Will we do it? I think he would get traded before he gets cut. But that D-line, okay, if John Kaminsky is traded or cut, that means that the D-line is leaps and bounds better than it's been the past 2 years. Because John was a factor year one, less of a factor year two, but still made an impact. So if John Kaminsky, if we can get rid of a guy like John Kaminsky who embodies the Detroit Lions, then maybe our defensive line is better than I thought it would be. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I also want to bring something to your attention. This video is going to come out super duper late, so I'm sorry for that. I had to work. But if you see this, well, you probably will see it by 6 o'clock, hopefully. If you are close to Fanatic U on Ford Road in Garden City, if you stop in and you use the phrase Lions Syndicate on checkout, you will get 20% off your Lions apparel and 10% off your Lions merchandise. Okay, so if you buy something other than apparel. Now, from now on, there will be a link in my description to fanaticu.com where you can save. You know what? Let me do this, because usually I look at this stuff. I want to make sure I get this right. I'm sure they would honor it. Let me see. Okay. All right. Yes. So, okay. July. Well, yesterday was the 18th, so that's weird. Okay. So never mind the last part. We'll work on that. But if you get in there today, you can get 20% off your Lions apparel. All right. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. I cannot believe that training camp officially begins tomorrow. We have one more sleep, and when we wake up, the 2024 NFL season is officially back. I will see you guys in the next video.